Welcome to the Awkward Zoo. I'm Randy, and this is Just Listen podcast. And today we just have a chew on this episode. But first, update. Not much to update. I've been doing the same thing as usual, streaming on Twitch at awkward underscore jelly. Um, yeah, I've been working on the mochi donuts. I've been working on Japanese cheesecake as well. But oh yeah, cooking videos. Update on cooking videos. Next year, I will be releasing them next year, and be on the lookout on Instagram and Twitter for a little surprise probably next week. But cooking videos will start coming out next year. I don't know how often they'll pop up, but they will come out next year. um, as well as my Kickstarter for Kingdom Rush, the board game. It will be here this week, sometime. Probably when this is released, I will have a copy. So be sure to look out. So actually, this all will all be old news about the Kickstarter, um, because by the time this releases at the end of the week, I would probably already have it, and already done the stream. So ignore that. Just remember to make sure to check out Twitter, Instagram. I try to do better on Instagram, but Twitter for sure for all streaming announcements and needs. Yeah. Okay, that's it. Let's head on to chew on this. So today we are talking about food preservation. So different ways to preserve food. Um, so that it just not only develops more deep flavors, but also it lasts longer. Um, so this is food preservation. So when it comes to preserving things, you want to look out for moisture, acidity, and oxygen, right? Because bacteria love moisture. The bad ones hate acidity, and oxygen. They need to breathe, right, and fester and grow, right? So you want to control these things, right? And so the first preservation mission we're going to talk preservation method we are going to be talking about is fermentation. We talked about it a little bit last time on leavening agents. Yeast is a fermentation and is also used for leavening in baked products, but fermentation also happens in food as well. Um, Mostly with vegetables, but there are fermented meats as well and drinks. We talked a little bit last time. There is alcohol, right? Part of the fermentation process produces alcohol, and so some alcoholic drinks like beer, wine are fermented. Um, and then there's also other drinks like the tea, kombucha, and then dairy based kefir. Here are also fermented drinks, different types of fermented drinks. You have pickles, kimchi, sauerkraut. Um, you have other dairy products like yogurt, right? You have chutneys, natto. There's so many different things that are fermented. And why? Because, like I said, this is preservation, right? Right, before refrigeration, you need to make food last longer, right, without going spoiling. And so all these methods are just tried, true, old, methods of doing things. And fermentation, when it comes to food, most of it is lactofermentation or lactic acid fermentation, and basically it just builds that acid so that, remember I said controlling acidity, it builds acid, and so it controls the bacteria growth, and yeah, and so this is mostly done with lactobacillus, and what they do is they take sugar and they make it into lactic acid, and create sort of this hostile environment for the bad bacteria, while the good and the probiotic biotics that's good for you can still survive, right? And then sometimes this is used as medicine, and it can go back to 6000 BC, and you can find fermentation in all cultures across the globe. Um, so yeah. Also, you can use salt along in this process. And yeah, that's fermentation. I actually don't really like fermentation. Uh, just throwing this out there. I am Korean, but I feel like I can't really say that I'm Korean because I don't really like fermented food. With there is some caveats, but I don't really like fermented food, so I don't really like any kind of kimchi. Um, I can eat fresh kimchi, that perfectly fine. I can enjoy like the fresh, just made, marinated kimchi. But once that ferments, though, I can't do it. I will eat it, but I can't enjoy eating it. Um, uh, like pickles, there are some pickles that I can eat and enjoy eating, and I love eating. The last place I worked, the chef there made some excellent pickles that I do love. I actually love those pickles. Um, but yeah, like I said, there's a few caveats, but most fermented things, I know that I can't do it. Um, Also, I can eat pickled ginger. Like, you know what comes with sushi, the pickled ginger. I can eat that as well. I actually enjoy that, and it's very weird. Dairy products. I'm fine with dairy products like cheese. Yeah, cheese is fermented. Yogurts, stuff like that. I'm fine with that. The only cheese that I can't really deal with right now is blue cheese. Blue cheese is a little too funky. Uh, 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 so far, blue cheese, I just can't do it. I can't. I don't enjoy blue cheese. Um, so far, that's the only one that I've tried that I don't like out of cheeses. I haven't tried many cheeses in general, but yeah. um, but I do like bread, and the reason why is because bread is baked. If stuffed is cooked, so if it's fermented and cooked, I am fine with it. Um, because the cooking kind of takes away the funky intensity that my body seems to reject. Um, and so, like, if you cook kimchi, like samgyeopsal with cooked kimchi, ooh, I can eat that. That is delicious. But nah, raw eating it raw, which is better for you. Eating it without cooking it, because you get those probiotics, and yeah, but that like my body doesn't enjoy it, like rejects it rejects it. I can force myself to eat it, but it's not gonna go down easy. What I'm saying. Um, but when you buy pickles, though, here's the caveat with pickles and some other um, pickled things. When you store buy pickled things, you gotta look out. You gotta be careful. You gotta, because if you want the probiotics, you want that fermentation, like the goodness of the probiotics and stuff. You gotta look at the packaging, because some stuff are sterilized or and they're washed in ways where a lot of the good bacteria and all that you want in the probiotics is kind of gone. So you gotta look out. If you go to Asian market and buy kimchi, you're good, or any kind of kimchi. Um, those definitely have the probiotics still, the bacteria still fermenting, still. Um, yeah. But yeah, you gotta look out if you're gonna buy like gherkin pickles, like pickles, um, and you want like the probiotics and stuff. You gotta make sure they still alive, or make your own. There's a lot of recipes out there. There's a lot of people. Lacto fermentation kind of was on trend um some time ago. So there's a lot out there that you can look up and find on making your own pickles and kimchi as well. You can find stuff in English. Uh, there's even stuff out there for brewing your own alcohol. Okay, hey, if you search it up, you can find it and you can make it. Um, some things won't be as easy as others, but like if you're going to brew your own beer or wine, that you're gonna need a little. You're gonna need that's gonna take some uh finesse, shall I say. But like pickles, easy. You just sanitize a jar and then you gather your ingredients and you're good to go. But yeah, so that's fermentation. Next up on preservation methods is curing. So you can smoke cure, salt cure, dry it out. And so smoking, what it does, and smoking and drying, obviously you're drying it out. You're drying whatever you're curing. You're taking out the moisture. So with no moisture, no bacteria growth or other funkiness is, and so that's what smoking and drying does. Salt curing, salt is hydrophilic, and so what it does is it sucks the moisture out of whatever you're salt curing. And so again, what it's doing is it's kind of reducing the moisture, the water content in whatever you're trying to cure, and thus preserving it, because moisture is the enemy in spoilage. So that's curing. Very simple, very easy. So the rest of the preservation methods are kind of just quick and easy descriptions. So next one we have lipids, lipids, which are fats and oils. Fats are room temperature; they're solid at room temperature, and oils are liquid at room temperature. But they all fall under the category of lipids. How this works is you basically coat it in oil. You just like soak them in oil. uh, so there's two different methods with fat, of how to preserve. One is, if I can pronounce this right, I don't think I can pronounce this right. Is rillets, which is you cook meat with more fat than usual, and then you blend it. And so there's kind of like paste, grounded up paste. Um, and then the other method is confit, which is you're poaching whatever you're poaching it in the fat. And how this works, why it works, is because fat is hydrophobic, and so instead of drawing moisture out, what it's doing is repelling moisture from coming in. Um, and so it repels the water, it repels the moisture, and that's how it preserves. Is because if no extra moisture comes in, the moisture inside is sealed. No moisture is coming in. There can't be growth. Uh, and then by poaching it or cooking it, you're removing the moisture from the product. So, and no moisture is coming in. You get it, right? So that's how you preserve with fat. By most common is confining. And that's also how you get flavored oils as well. Yeah. Also, sugar. You can preserve with sugar. You have jams, right? Jams, jellies, spreads, fruit spreads, right? With fruit and sugar, you cook it, and you cook it down, and it preserves it. It lasts longer. Another way of preserving is to just pack it in sugar, or just completely covering it entirely in sugar or a syrup. Will also preserve it. What that does is sugar is also hydrophilic, and so it's drawing moisture out, right? So similar to salt, and how salt preserves things, sugar is the same way. But caveat: if it's not cooked and you're just covering it, you need to pack it in tight, or it needs to be completely drenched in the syrup. Otherwise, like I said, oxygen will get the moisture will get to it, and it will grow unwanted things. I could tell you this because right now my mom is doing something with sugar fruit and sugar. The first time they did it, they didn't really pack it well, and so that one is moldy. That one grew stuff, mold. The second one that they did was packed with sugar, but then like as it dissolves and creates a syrup, you gotta keep packing sugar, because the top started to grow mold, where the sugar kind of dissolved and then sunk to the bottom, and then these little fruit, I don't know what they call them in English. These little fruits like kind of float, and so the top layer that wasn't covered in sugar grew mold. So you gotta make sure you pack it, and if you pack it with just sugar, you gotta make sure you keep packing it as it. If it turns into like a syrup, you gotta make sure you keep packing it, and then also make sure, like, if they float, you gotta keep it. You gotta put something in there to weigh it down to keep it from being exposed, right? All right, and so that's how you preserve with sugar. And then another preservation method is alcohol. As you know from this pandemic, alcohol is a sterilizer. From like our sanitizers are alcohol, made with alcohol, right? And so as you know, it's very acidic. It's a sterilizer, so yeah, it's going to preserve, right? Alcohol is going to preserve things, things, as well as extract flavor, right? Right. That's what most extracts are made, with a little bit of alcohol. That's how extracts are made, right? Your vanilla extract, extract. Your vanilla extract is made. It's extracted from the vanilla pods with alcohol, and that's why vanilla can sometimes smell like alcohol a little bit. And you can make, and that's how you make your own vanilla extract with the alcohol. You can make your own. So if you have vanilla pods, you can just soak them in alcohol, and eventually you'll get vanilla extract. Yeah, my parents making red wine extract, onion extract. It smells, but it's supposed to be good for blood circulation and energy. I guess. Uh, that's what they said, and apparently it does work. But yeah, so they make an extract using red wine and onions. It smells the smell, because onions, man, people just imagine onions and wine. That's the smell you get. Uh, so they make extracts all the time. Uh, um, yeah, so that's preservation and different methods of preservation. I think I got all of them. You have fermentation, you have curing, preserving in fats and oils, preserving in sugar, preserving in alcohol. And yeah, that's it for Chew on This. Let's wrap things up. I'm sure you have noticed my shirt is blue. Uh, it's actually green. Uh, I need to do laundry, but it's actually green, and so the green screen is picking it up. Uh, and so you get a blue shirt. And I am sure you've noticed I have a different background as well. Um, so yeah, there's that. There's that going on. Um, um, yeah. That's it for this episode. Uh, let's see. Questions. Haha. Always forget to write down questions to ask at the end. But questions. So have you eaten anything that's been preserved? Any fermented foods? Any cured stuff? Um, I'm sure everyone's eaten jams, jerkies, and stuff like that. But um, so let's go with fermented food. What fermented foods have you eaten before? uh, Comment down below. Uh, what fermented foods have you eaten before? Whether it's kimchi or skate. What is the funkiest fermented food that you have eaten? For me, I don't know. Have I had skate before? Hongo, hongo, in Korean, hongo, fermented skate, which is like super ammonia. Nice, dude. That thing is, whew. That will, that will. If you eat that, that'll definitely wake up and burn many senses. uh, I have smelled that before. I don't remember if I had eaten one before. But you definitely can't miss the smell of that thing. Um, Yeah, that will probably be the most fermented thing. I can't remember if I tried it though. I think I had tried it once. Ooh, that smell though. Whew. So, what is the funkiest fermented thing that you have tried? Um, Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. If you're on the Apple Podcast, and I will see y'all next time. See ya. Bye.